What if everything you thought you knew about eating disorders was wrong? Hi, and welcome back. And if you're new, we're glad you found us. So it all begins, in many cases in early childhood, as an unhealthy relationship with food. And then, if not corrected, it remains an ongoing struggle well into adulthood. Researchers tell us that early traumatic events are a common trigger that will send someone on the disordered eating path. So, in effect, it's a way to numb pain by using food. Dysfunctional eating of this kind leads to overeating, weight gain, and difficulty in maintaining healthy eating habits. And a lot of eating disorder statistics show just how widespread the problem really is today. Seeking the help of an eating disorder specialist is always a good idea, but there are some things you can do on your own, too. We'll talk about that, so make sure you watch this entire presentation. First, let's understand exactly what's going on here. Disordered eating is multifaceted. It includes comfort eating, stress eating, binge eating, and emotional eating, and others. Our focus today is emotional eating. One problem with knowing how to stop emotional eating is that food today is not what it was, let's say, 50 years ago. This makes emotional eating an even bigger challenge. And look, everyone enjoys comfort foods, but today, these altered foods hook and addict you. Therefore, they get you in trouble when all you really want to do is be healthy. Before we continue, let's pause the conversation for just a second so you can like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. So, it should come as no shock that the big food producers have been compounding emotional eating problems for years. It's because they add addictive chemicals to your food. And equally concerning is that the dieting industry has also been making the problem worse. We'll show you how. But there is a solution. Well, it's really a two-part solution. Let's look at these two things and show you how to break free from the clutches of emotional or stress eating and addictive foods. Okay, so the first thing most people who stress eat do to lose weight is turn to fad diets. Bad idea. Why? Well, you see, it's just a revolving door. Profit-driven corporations addict you to foods using powerful mind-manipulating chemicals. While weight loss companies sell an endless stream of pricey diet programs that don't work. It's all very frustrating, isn't it? Did you know that the most common outcome of fad diets is weight gain? Exactly the opposite of what you'd expect. These diets put you into a stressful struggle with food and with your own body. That's why they never work. Okay, so here is what you should know. Most people are eating not because they are hungry, but because they are being controlled by intense cravings, addictions, and emotions. So the physiological reason for cravings is not always hunger. It's often the body and the brain saying there is a lack of certain vital nutrients. What should be normal hunger urges have been taken over and intensified by the addictive chemicals in food. Unaddressed emotional issues and nutritional deficiencies make it even worse. So, you see, there's a kind of short circuit going on here. Rejecting deceptive diet culture is the first place to begin in fixing the endless addictive foods, dieting, and emotional eating cycle. And you should know that one of the biggest problems with today's diet products is that they set very rigid rules and demands on you. The predictable outcome is that you rebel and overeat. Learn to work with the body rather than fight it. Next, we'll show you how to improve your emotional relationship with food. And finally, how to break loose from the unhealthy addictive additives in processed foods. So this second part deals with the emotions themselves. Look, many overeat just to medicate undesirable feelings. Therefore, to take control of emotional eating, take a step back and ask yourself, why am I eating like this? Freeze and ask the big why. If you know it's not because of hunger, then process what is really happening. Often, sadness, loneliness, boredom, emptiness, or pain drive emotional eating. Even anger can trigger stress eating. And those who are grief-stricken also frequently get caught up in grief eating. People who are significantly overweight or are dealing with obese emotional eating face similar struggles. Therefore, to break the emotionally driven eating, raise your self-awareness. So, what is a good action step to take here? As mentioned, simply pause before you grab for food, stop, breathe, and ask yourself logically why. It may sound a bit cliché, but you'll have to do this and get good at it to succeed. Identify the situations, associations, emotions, or events that trigger emotional eating. This helps you to become more aware of the problem and allows for healthy behavioral adjustments. Also, mindful eating is a way of paying attention to the experience of eating, including the taste, texture, and smell of food. This can help you to be more present in the moment and reduces urges to eat in response to internal and external triggers. And the next thing is to find a way to solve emotional issues with emotional solutions, and not with food. Again, step back, pause, and realize that what you are about to eat will simply not solve the emotions you are experiencing. And be prepared to take a decisive action step. That is, resist the urge to eat, and instead head outdoors and walk. Keep walking. Walk a lot. Those pesky urges to eat that are caused by errant emotions will fade away if you walk. It's really the best physical activity you can possibly do. Drink lots of water and stay hydrated too. So if you're lonely, hey, why not phone a friend? If you're depressed, walk. And if you're bored, walk. And if you are feeling pain, sit down and write it out. Do these things not because we say so, but because they work. Walking rewires brain networks for the better. Also, you can identify different ways of managing emotions. Practice relaxation techniques or embark on a new and interesting hobby. But this is not to say that working out deep emotions is easy. It's not. It takes time. Remember, you are playing the long game here, and it's about long-term mental, spiritual, and physical health. Therefore, the goal is to develop healthier relationships with food and your body. Okay, now back to food addiction, because it is so intertwined with emotional eating. There is a very effective way to short-circuit chemically driven food addictions, which, again, is pivotal in fixing emotional eating. They are not separate. Are you ready? Here it is. You'll have to break the addiction cycle by embracing a raw food diet. Don't worry, it's not that difficult. Eating uncooked, unprocessed living foods is the key to the castle. Look, if you gain only one thing from this discussion, this is it. Raw living foods work. In fact, after just a few weeks of not eating cooked and processed foods with all those addicting chemicals, the cravings and overeating urges slowly dissipate and eventually go away altogether. The uncooked part of this is important too, since the heat of cooking destroys essential nutrients, enzymes, and probiotics in food, things your body needs. And once the toxic chemicals begin to leave your body, you will notice that you are no longer magnetically drawn to addicting foods. So here is the secret to this strategy. You must be disciplined and dedicated. In other words, no cheating. But when you do stay the course, you will be amazed that it really does work. A raw vegan diet is indeed the solution. It will free you. It will give you back control of your mind and body. It will restore your health and your life. So, there you have it. At its core, emotional eating is initially the result of deep-seated, unresolved emotions, and a strong runner-up is the addicting chemicals in food. These things work in unison to damage your health. And by dealing directly with emotions that cause overeating and combining that with a living raw foods diet, you'll be well on your way to a new and more enjoyable life. Everyone around you will notice the improvements. Freedom from emotional eating is within your reach if you want it. Overcoming emotional eating is a process. It takes time to develop healthy new habits and coping strategies. Be patient and be kind to yourself. We recommend that you learn all you can about a raw vegan diet. It strikes a decisive blow to many eating disorders, simply because when the body is given electrically alive, enzyme-rich nutrients that have not been destroyed by heat or processing, everything changes in an instant. Raw foods become your trusted partner in fighting disordered eating. Thanks for watching, and do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you here again next time.